Hello friends, welcome to Asana IAS. Friends, if you can believe, you may start. But if you can understand, you will achieve. We are talking about the 10 commandments for an IAS aspirant. In the first commandment, we have understood what to study. In the second commandment, we have understood how to study. These two commandments are together. In the third commandment, we have understood the four pillars of IAS preparation. The fourth commandment is about understanding the mind game of this exam. Hope you remember all these things. And the fifth commandment, it is about focusing on the big picture. Third, fourth, and fifth, these three commandments are together. In the sixth commandment, you have understood that mindfulness is the master key. Now this is the seventh commandment. Here we understand that IAS preparation is a joyful journey. How to make your IAS preparation journey or even during the exam, it has to be so joyful. And in the next commandment, eighth commandment, we understand how you can convert all this text into a thought. If you can do that, if you just have 300 to 400 thoughts before going for the exam, you can answer the questions yourself. But how to get those thoughts from this information that we learn? We will discuss it in the next commandment. And the ninth commandment tells us that you are the hero of your own preparation. You cannot give a preparation process to someone else. You have to take control of it. So how to do that we will discuss. So sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth commandments are together. And in the 10th commandment, that is the final commandment, we understand the itinerary of IAS preparation journey. So if you follow and understand the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th commandments is one set of commandments. Third, fourth, fifth is another set. First and second is another set. So three sets of commandments and 10th is a kind of summary of all these. So if you can understand these 10 commandments very carefully and implement these, clearing this exam is just going to be a cakewalk for you. Anyone can clear this exam under the right guidance with minimum effort. Now we talk about the seventh commandment, that is a joyful journey. I know many of you are very sincere to clear this exam. You are serious to become an IAS or IPS officer because it is your desire, it is your goal, it is your dream, no doubt. But question yourself, how many of you are joyfully doing this? How many of you are preparing for this exam out of joy? How many of you are really enjoying reading newspaper, reading standard books, reading NCRTs, reading current affairs magazines, reading current affairs compilation? If you ask me, don't mind saying this, more than 98% of aspirants are reading the current affairs compilation and all the things out of compulsion, not out of joy. They are doing it because they have to do it if they want to fulfill their dream. Everyone is doing, they are doing. You are not getting the true benefits of knowing all the things. You are only learning them because for the sake of a job. But if you can make this intake of knowledge out of joy, how to do that we learn. Then learning itself is a very joyful and you really enjoy it. You really it's like watching a movie for you. Unfortunately, there is no such resource available in the market which can present all these subjects in a joyful manner. That's why we are trying to deliver with our courses, in such a way. So you enjoy the course as well as, you gain the true knowledge. Even after you clear the exam, you become such a good IAS officer or IPS officer where you can really serve. The job posting should not be a challenge for you. In fact, it has to be a joyful life that you should really do something for the nation. So how to keep your IAS preparation journey joyful? Even during the exam, how you can answer the questions yourself, with a lot of happiness. And, you can answer them correctly and clear the exam. That is what we discuss. Before going further, I would like to tell you a story. In fact, it is not a story, it is an experiment. You must have heard of Conga Lines. It is actually a street dance popular in Central America, originated in Cuba, and then it has become so popular in USA in good olden days. What happened? People hold their hands in such a way and they just, dance in a circle, what we call Conga Lines. So Conga Lines means simply, in that circle में एक के पीछे दूसरा ऐसा dance करते, they just move. But there is nothing to take out of it. Just to give you this word, I have told you this. Have you heard of these caterpillars? Caterpillars are those which become butterflies. Not all, each and every caterpillar will become a butterfly. Some of them may even become moths. So either they become a butterfly or a moth. For that, what they do, they stop eating for a few weeks. They just move in a straight line, one behind another like this, to somewhere, to a plant. They hang themselves upside down to a leaf or to a twig of that plant for a few days. Then, they slowly turn themselves into a butterfly or a moth. Now, there is an entomologist from France whose name is Henry Faber. What he has done, entomologist means who does some experiment with these species to understand or observe their behavior. Now this Faber has arranged, since these caterpillars are moving one behind another in a straight line, they are heading to their destination. They are in the process of becoming, they want to become butterflies after getting into to their destination. But बीच में Faber आया है. वे क्या किया? इनको एक सर्किल में अरेंज किया है. He just reset their movement so that they move in a circle. He assumed that it may take 1 hour or 2 hours. They realized, these caterpillars, that they are not heading anywhere. They are simply moving in a circle and they rearrange themselves into a straight line and they head to their destination. This was his assumption. But to his surprise, even after a week, they are just moving in that circle. This is what is popularly known as the sinister truth behind caterpillar conga lines. Conga lines, because this kind of movement one behind another moving in a circle is called conga lines. So he arranged these caterpillars to move in a conga line, but even after a week, because they don't require any food, so they are putting their effort one behind another for no reason. In such a stupid way, they are just moving in that circle, heading nowhere. They are not reaching their destination. Still, they have not realized even after a week. Why I am telling you this experiment? Don't take me wrong. Unfortunately, many of the aspirants are doing the same. Why they do that, no one knows. Like in April, May, the result of UPSC, Civil Service Exam, will be announced. Then some toppers come. They start, वे अपना ज्ञान बांटना शुरू करता है. ऐसा प्रिपेयर करो, ऐसा रीड करो बुक्स को and all. Even many institutions, they bring those toppers and वे toppers talk सुनते हुए, I'm not underestimating or उसको मैं कोई उसका एबिलिटी को मैं अंडर एस्टिमेट नहीं कर रहा हूँ. वे डेफिनेटली अच्छा सजेशंस देगा. बट कितने देर, 1-2 महीना वे सुनते ही, बिकॉज वी इंस्पायर लिसनिंग टू द टॉपर्स. बट उसी में 1-2 महीना स्पेंड करना इज मेकिंग नो सेंस. पीपल डू दैट एस्पिरेंट्स. सो उस टाइम सारे उनको सुनते टाइम वेस्ट करेगा. देन प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम होगा, मे बी बाय द एंड ऑफ मे आर इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ जून. फिर उसका क्वेश्चन पेपर का एनालिसिस, पहले टॉपर स्टॉक, then prelims question paper, एंड उसका एनालिसिस उससे 15 दिन चलता है, उसको देखना एंड ऑल। देन स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स एनसीईआरटीज वे पढ़ने को बोलता है, ये पढ़ने में लग जाता है 3-4 महीना। देन डेली न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने में 1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा वेस्ट करते हैं हम। देन एवरी मंथ करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ने में, उसका कंपाइलेशंस पढ़ने में टाइम लगता रहता है। बहुत सारे मैगजीन्स फॉलो करते रहते हैं। मीनवाइल मेंस एग्जाम भी आ जाता है, फिर मेंस का आंसर राइटिंग करके एक एक क्वेश्चन लेके आते हैं। कुछ लोग वे अपलोड करने लग जाता है यूट्यूब में। सिंस दी रिसोर्सेज आर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, हम अपना टाइम उनको दे देता है, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग योर टाइम इज वेरी वैल्यूबल विच यू आर इजीली गिविंग टू एनीवन। एंड उससे कुछ 1-2 महीना ऐसा स्पेंड करते हैं। फिर जब फेब आ जाता है, सर्वे, बजट, ये सब आता है, फिर उस पे वीडियोस आने लग जाता है। फिर मार्च में पीपल स्टार्ट सेइंग 100 days टू गो, दिस काइंड ऑफ कैंपेन्स। फिर आता है करंट अफेयर्स ऑफ द होल ईयर। फिर आता है लोग ऐसा लेके आता है मैराथन क्लासेस, क्रैश कोर्सेस, पता नहीं क्या क्या आता है। वे सब यू हैव नो टाइम ड्यूरिंग द होल ईयर to think what this exam is demanding from me. You never take control of your preparation. You only follow all these very blindly. And पूरा साल तो निकल गया, but the journey was never joyful. You are just running with this kind of preparation. So you don't know, like these caterpillars are going, moving one behind another. You are also in this trap. The whole year is gone. And when the exam comes, and even in the prelims itself, when you enter the hall, examination hall, and when you look at the questions, the actual questions are going to be very simple. You can easily answer if you would have spent 4 to 5 months of your time very wisely instead of following all these resources. Simply if you would have understood what exactly the selection panel is expecting from me, how I can improve those, and if you can take a sheet of paper and make a note of all the concepts, this is all what I need to know from this, how I can convert this subject into simply 20 thoughts. If you know these 20 thoughts, you can answer any question from polity. If you know 20 thoughts, you can answer any question from technology. If you know 20 thoughts are themes, whatever you call, you can answer any question from economy. Any question means at least 80% of questions. Instead of developing these 200 to 50 thoughts or themes yourself by properly analyzing and understanding. I'm not against joining any course. You can always, join, which saves a lot of your time. But again, it is you to decide which course is more relevant to the required thing, more close to what exactly is required to crack this exam. You have to select such a course instead of falling in a trap. And by following such a course, if you can make your preparation, if you can take control of your preparation, in just 4 to 5 months, you can prepare it so wisely, so nicely, in a simple manner. You have command of all these thoughts, and you can answer the questions in the exam yourself, and you can easily score more than 70% marks in prelims in both the papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Similarly, you can write most relevant and coherent answers in mains and can get very good score and can get, eligibility for interview. Instead of doing that, you are in the trap of, wasting your whole year unnecessarily. So stop doing that. Use your time very consciously and make your preparation journey a joyful one and clear this exam yourself. This is what is all this commandment. For example, let me take a question which was asked in 2022. Many people nowadays are saying GS में तो अच्छा स्कोर आ रहा है, I have scored more than 100, but मेरा selection ruk gaya because of CSAT. How? CSAT is just a qualifying exam. Even you are unable to answer one-third of the questions. Have you ever questioned why? Forget about the preparation. Even if you won't prepare anything, believe me, you can answer 20% of questions without any prior knowledge. Just what you require is confidence while reading the statement of the question. If you can read the question confidently, you can answer 20% of the questions. If you just know, there are hardly 40, 50 very basic conceptual, questions in quantitative ability. The same type of questions, like, if a question is asked, there must be some specific approach. These 40, 50 types if you understand. Similarly, 40, 50 types in reasoning, 8 to 10 types of questions in comprehension. Similarly, 15 to 20 types of questions in data interpretation and data sufficiency. If you can understand them, hardly take 5 to 6 days. You can understand, around 40% of questions. Just based on that. I'm talking about CSAT. There are about 100 to 120 very, very standard questions. They are being asked for last 3, 4 decades. Not only in CSAT or, in this kind of exam, in CAT, even in interview. These are a kind of standard puzzles. Even in many interviews, same questions will be repeated with little modification. If you can understand, 10% of questions will come, again based on those only. I will show you all these types of questions. Then, by mix of these concepts, you get 10-15% of questions. And 10-15% of questions, they are really difficult. You mix, better to leave kind of questions. It doesn't mean that you cannot answer them, but in the given time, sometimes, it may take more time to answer such questions. If you can notice and skip those, simply you can score more than 80% in just 1 hour, not even 2 hours are required. But for this, even 33% is the cutoff, and that is also not been, if a candidate is unable to score, that means where and for what reason you are spending your whole year. That means the whole year that you are investing is somewhere going into means on wrong things. What exactly you need to learn, you are not focusing on those things. For example, you take this question asked in 2022. The increase in the price of a certain item was 25%. Even I do not know anything. I simply follow this. The increase in the price of a certain item was 25%. There is certain item. Let us say the price is 100 rupees. Now it is increased by 25%. So it becomes 125 rupees. ये तो इतना बेसिक है, ये तो सबको समझ में आएगा. Then the price was decreased by 20%. Now it is 125 rupees. अगर 125 से 20% decrease करोगे तो 10% of 125 is 12.5. 20% is 12.5, 12.5, 25. तो 25 decrease करोगे तो again it will become 100 only. And then again increased by 10%. So now it is again increased by 10%. Then it becomes 110. I'm not doing anything. I'm just following the statements. What is the resultant increase in the price? So earlier, first it was 100. Now it is 110. What is the resultant increase? 10%. This is the level of CSAT, not all. At least I am talking about the first type 20% questions, which do not require any prior knowledge. Basic understanding of percentage. And you are saying, CSAT qualify nahi kar pa raha hu. Even, the level of CSAT is going up relatively, every year on year. Even recent is this. Earlier it was even easier. Now also, the thing is, first you should be confident enough, while reading the statements. अगर इतना करोगे तो ही 20% क्वेश्चन आंसर हो जाता है. If you know, if you practice little more, you can answer it faster. For example, if you know if something increases by 25% and decreases by 20%, it will not change. then it increases by 10%, so resultant increases 10%. You can say it without pen in 5 seconds if you have good practice. Or if it is increased by 25%, it becomes 5 by 4 times, then decreased by 20%, then it becomes 4 by 5 times, that means no change, then increased by 10%, so overall resultant change is 10% increase. You can say very fast if you are good at these fractions. But even if you do not know all the things, still answering this question will not take more than 60 seconds. Hope you are understanding. Not just one question, at least 20% of questions you find of this type. Take one more question from 2022 only. Two friends, X and Y, start running and they run together for 50 meters in the same direction and reach a point. See, two friends are there, one friend and second friend. They are running. In which direction he did not say. You take any direction. So they run together for 50 meters in the same direction. So they run together for 50 meters in the same direction. I am not doing anything. Even I am not using my mind. I am blindly following whatever is written in the question. X turns right, one of them turns right and runs 60 meters. While moving in this direction, right means this side. You all can understand this much. You can imagine it very easily. So he runs 60 meters. While Y turns left, the other person turns left. So while going in the upward direction, left means this side. And then he runs 40 meters. So this is 40 meters. Then X turns left. He is X. Hope you understand. He turns left while going this side. Left means again up. And he runs 50 meters and stops. While Y turns right while going this side, right means again up. And he runs 50 meters and stops. Now, how far are the two friends from each other now? How far is it? 40 plus 60, 100. Is it a question? And this is the level of CSAT, this is the level of civil service exam. And in such a silly exam, what you require is only 1/3 of the score to qualify. And you are saying it is a difficult one. And CSAT के वजह से मेरा selection रुक गया. That means, how confident are you in reading a statement? If you cannot have this much confidence that you can read the question, what is given and what is asked, if you cannot understand, how will you solve the problems of the country tomorrow? So focus on enhancing this kind of very basic abilities and what you are doing for the whole year. Even if you do not know, let us assume, then how long it takes to understand and learn this kind of basic statements? Being 20 years of age, because you are in 20s or in 30s, 5 साल का बच्चा तो नहीं है ना, ये समझा नहीं पाएंगे, ये समझ नहीं पाएंगे. Hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. If you can invest your time wisely on the right things, clearing this exam is so simple. But unfortunately, though you are very sincere, you are investing your time on unnecessary things. Unnecessary knowledge and information you are gathering. You are reading unnecessary things. You are being misguided. Even X moves 50 meter, Y moves instead of 50, let us say, he moves, let us say, 80 meter. Then it would have been little difficult because it is not a straight line then. Then you can question, even the paper setter is not troubling you by giving even such questions. You see, he is trying to ask you very silly questions. Even to answer those silly questions, you are struggling. That means you need to change your preparation process itself. The journey itself, you need to rethink. This is what I am trying to tell you. Not only in CSAT, even you take questions from general studies. A question asked in 22 itself. Which of the following are nitrogen fixing plants? Very basic information. Nitrogen fixing plants, all of us know. You will learn it, as part of your basic preparation. Like soy, peas, beans, all these pulses, tur dal, moong dal, जो pots में ऐसा बनता है. So these are all nitrogen fixing plants. They fix nitrogen from air. They take air, nitrogen from the air, and their roots, will take it into the soil. Very basic concept. But look at the options given. Alfalfa. ये क्या होता है, मैंने कभी सुना ही नहीं. इतना देख के आप परेशान हो गया. Because neither your preparation is joyful, nor your exam taking those 2 hours is going to be joyful. Alfalfa पता नहीं यार क्या क्या दिया. अगर आप यूरोपियन कंट्रीज कभी विजिट किया हो, स्विट्जरलैंड या कहीं भी गया हो, ये अल्फाल्फा स्प्राउट्स बहुत आपको मिलता है नाश्ता में, खाने में. इवन सैंडविच के बीच में अल्फाल्फा स्प्राउट्स डाल के देते हैं. अगर आप खाया होगा तो ये स्प्राउट्स मीन्स नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग. यू विल कम टू नो दैट अल्फाल्फा नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग है. लेकिन मैं तो यूरोप गया ही नहीं, मैंने कभी खाया ही नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता. कोई बात नहीं, मैं भी जब कॉलेज में था कभी गया नहीं. तो नहीं पता होगा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, आप उसको रहने दो और आगे बढ़ो. कीप योरसेल्फ हैप्पी. अमरंथ, ये तो इंडियन का ही है, आपने सुना होगा. अमरंथ चवली बोलते हैं. एक ग्रीन लीफ है, एक वेजिटेबल है, लीफी वेजिटेबल. तो उससे दाल वगैरह बना सकते हैं. तो अमरंथ, इट्स ए लीफ, ग्रीन लीफ. सो ये तो नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग प्लांट नहीं है. अगर ये भी नहीं बता कोई बात नहीं. चिकपी तो सबने सुना होगा. चिकपी, इट इज ए नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग प्लांट. ये तो इजी है. सो थर्ड मस्ट बी देयर. सो यू कैन से सी इज रॉन्ग, डी इज रॉन्ग. क्लोवर, ये भी एक स्प्राउट है, ये भी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में ज्यादा मिलता है, बट कोई बात नहीं, हमने नहीं सुना. कुल्फा भी एक ग्रीन लीफ है, नहीं बता, सुना नहीं. बट स्पिनैच तो सबने सुना होगा. पालक, ये तो सबका फेवरेट है इंडिया में. पालक पनीर तो सबने खाता है. स्पिनैच सैंडविच सबने खाता है. तो ये तो ग्रीन लीफ है. इट इज नॉट नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग प्लांट. ये तो पता है ना सबको. फॉरगेट अबाउट द फर्स्ट, सेकंड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ. थर्ड एंड सिक्स तो आपने सुना ही होगा. एटलीस्ट सिक्स तो पता होगा ना. Spinach is not a nitrogen fixing plant. If you know that you can eliminate B, you can eliminate C, you can eliminate D. It's not about elimination. I'm not trying to teach you, you go with elimination. This is the way he makes. He's not expecting you to know, the crop which is popular in European country or some other country. But वे छुपा रहा है. स्पिनैच इंडिया से भी कुछ पिक किया, चिकपी इंडिया से पिक किया, अमरंथ इंडिया से पिक किया, 3 यहाँ का पिक किया. उसी में आंसर दे दिया आपको. बिकॉज ही नेवर वांट टू ट्रबल यू. देन 3 और सोचा, कहीं से उठा के ले आएंगे. तो ये अल्फाल्फा, क्लोवर एंड कुल्फा वे वहां से लेके आया. सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट है. तो इफ यू आर माइंडफुल एंड जॉयफुल, you can make your preparation so happy. It's like, just knowing. It's not like मैं IAS की तैयारी कर रहा हूं, मुझे बहुत सारे पढ़ना है. It's like, know about various food habits. Know about, enjoy the culture of India as well as of the world. Enjoy the geography. You travel, not physically. It may not be possible for everyone. At least virtually. Enjoy the journey of a river from its source point till the end point. Enjoy the mountains, its structure, hill stations and various lakes, and history. Understand 1000 years back ऐसा हुआ था इस जगह पे. Culture, enjoy the culture of variety and its uniqueness. Then how the economy works, what the technology, where the technology is taking the world. Understand it, enjoy it. Keep it a joyful journey. You really enjoy it. And it won't give you that feel that you are really preparing for an exam. But you can easily clear the exam. It's just a knowledge enhancement. that you come to know various things, what is happening around. Instead of that, you are troubling yourself, you are, without happiness, without joy, you are forced to read so many things. You read current affair compilations. You never know why you are reading. Even, for this kind of question also, alpha, the Hindu. एक क्वेश्चन आने के बाद these institutions, unfortunately, these people and faculty, I'm not scolding them, but they are doing it unfortunately. They come and they Google it. They find some article somewhere, written in Hindu. They say, you see, this was given in this, that's why this question is asked. What is this nonsense? That is not the way you have to study. If you can change it, if you can prepare in a right direction, under the right guidance, you can prepare for this exam very easily, and you can clear this exam out of your own ability, and definitely you can clear it without, depending on any luck factor or anything. So here the answer is option A. My intention is not to answer these questions. I am trying to give you a message. Keep your preparation in a joyful manner and get control, get hold of your preparation instead of just blindly following whatever is available in the market. You wisely decide what is required and how I can, acquire some knowledge which is relevant to my preparation. Take one more question. After the Civil Services 2021, with reference to India, consider the following statements. First statement, judicial custody means an accused is in the custody of the concerned magistrate and such accused is locked up in police station, not in jail. See, judicial custody, from the name itself you can understand judicial means he is in the custody of the concerned magistrate, making sense. And such accused is locked up in police station. See, if he just stop with this, maybe, in that flow, you may get confused. Yes, he is in the custody of magistrate and he is locked up in the police station. Sahi lag sakta hai. That's why, because he is so kind, the paper setter, he doesn't want to trouble you. So that's why he also mentioned not in jail. See, it is like Pancha Pandavas are 3 in number. ऐसा दिया होगा तो मे भी कोई बच्चा होगा 3 ही होगा, ऐसा सोच के राइट कर सकता है, इसलिए वे बोला not 5. Pancha Pandavas are 3 in number, comma, not 5. He is giving clue also there itself. It is like that. Such a silly and such a kind-hearted paper setter is there with you, and still you are saying these are difficult questions. So, judicial custody means, you see, what is judicial custody, what is police custody? These are very basic things. Anyway, as part of your basic preparation, when you just go through it, these terms, somewhere or other you come across. Very basics. Otherwise also, when you read the statements, he is giving so explicitly, he is trying to mention or trying to prove that this statement is wrong. So he is locked up in police station. Instead of if he just stop with this without writing not in jail, maybe, if you fall in the trap and in that hurry during the exam, if you say yes, it is correct, makes sense. But of course, though it is wrong, then you may fall in the trap. At least it is acceptable. But he clearly to आपको ट्रैप में फंसने से बचाने के लिए he is clearly mentioning he is locked up, the accused is locked up in police station, comma, not in jail. He is giving a clue. तब तो सोचना चाहिए ना आपको. No यार, if he is under magistrate, in the custody of magistrate, he is locked up in jail. So jail is different, police station is different. At least इतना तो समझाने के लिए he is giving you this clue. So this is wrong. Anyway, I am not trying to teach you the concept here. I am trying to tell you how kind the paper setter is. Even the difficult questions, if you look at them carefully, if you are joyful, if you are mindful, and if you coolly, with a cool mind, if you read them, then many questions have answers there itself, either in the same sentence or in the coming sentence. Sometimes, first statement, which might be difficult, सो उसका जो क्लू सेकंड स्टेटमेंट में दिया जाता है. And this exam is really so friendly, and he just checking for the right candidate who has the basic calmness. बट हम तो इतना चीज पढ़ के आया है, हम अपना कामनेस को, जॉय को छोड़ चुके हैं लॉन्ग टाइम बैक. वी आर सो डेस्परेट इन रीडिंग एंड गैदरिंग इंफॉर्मेशन. हम सिर्फ अपना मेमोरी को यूज करके, अपना कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटी को यूज करके ये सारे क्वेश्चंस आंसर करना चाहते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर फॉलोइंग इन दीज ट्रैप्स एंड वी आर अनेबल टू स्कोर इवन 50% ऑफ मार्क्स. Otherwise, when 70 to 80% of questions are going to be so silly like this, and we are unable to answer them, and we are even unable to recognize those questions during the exam, that means what we have done in our preparation, what kind of skill we have improved during our preparation. We are not enhancing our skill at all. We are only gathering information. There are many people, बताओ मुझे क्या क्या बुक्स पढ़ना है. ये सारे बुक्स 10-10 बार पढ़ लिया, and they assume themselves that they are fully ready for the exam. But when they go for the exam, they cannot answer more than 35 questions. Because what they have read is, उससे 35 क्वेश्चन से ज्यादा आंसर नहीं कर पाते हैं. Because you have to answer the questions in the exam yourself. For that, you should develop certain skill, not just information, gathering of information. Take the second statement. During judicial custody, the police officer in charge of the case is not allowed to interrogate the suspect without the approval of the court. That's why I know he is under the judicial custody. Obviously, it makes sense if you use little. Like, judicial custody में होगा तो police officer का control में नहीं होगा. Obviously, it is not उनका मर्जी नहीं चलेगा. Of course, he must take at least, approval of the court to interrogate. Police custody में होगा तो police officer can detain anybody, but he must submit him to appear before the concerned magistrate within 24 hours. ये सारे चीज very basics है. अब तो you come across this when you prepare for the exam, like detention and all in fundamental rights also when you study. इतना basics तो समझ ही लोगे. But in the exam hall, whatever you have learned, you must use your own common sense to come and to answer, to decide the answer. How accurately you do that is all the challenge is about. So for that you have to enhance that accuracy skill. Similarly, certain questions, though they are very simple, they will not strike during the exam. So you need to improve your strike rate. इसलिए 35 क्वेश्चन ही अटेम्प्ट करता है बहुत बच्चे after sincere preparation of 1 to 2 years. 35 के बाद 25 क्वेश्चन 50-50 चांस लगा के या थोड़ा तुक्का डाल के अटेम्प्ट करके आता है, मार्जिन से मिस करते हैं कट ऑफ को क्लियर करने में. बट व्हाई यू आर अनेबल टू आइडेंटिफाई एटलीस्ट 70 क्वेश्चंस. इतना सिंपल होता है एग्जाम में आउट ऑफ 100, बट मेनी पीपल विल नॉट बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई दोज 70 क्वेश्चंस. बाहर आने के बाद 35 से ये नंबर 50 तक बढ़ जाता है. 2-3 बार और देखने के बाद इफ somebody explain those questions, then धीरे धीरे 70 समझ में आता है. बट 2 घंटे में within the during that exam only, if you can identify those 70 questions, clearing cutoffs is just going to be so simple for you. You need to reach to that level. Your preparation should be in such a way. If you are not preparing accordingly, that means what you are preparing is good for nothing. So here, second is correct, first is wrong, B the answer. Not only this, you see certain questions require very basics. Like I told you in CSAT, some questions do not require. CSAT में 20% of questions do not require any prior knowledge. Just by reading the statement you can answer. And around 40% of questions, they require very basic knowledge. In the sense, their same kind of questions, will be asked again and again. For example, you take this question asked in Civil Services 2022. How many 3-digit natural numbers without repetition of digits are there such that each digit is odd and the number is divisible by 5? Now there are 3 digits, 1, 2, 3. I'm not doing anything. I'm just understanding the question. How many 3-digit natural numbers if you do not know what is a natural number, then you may get confused and you may simply feel that I don't even know what is a natural number, so I cannot even answer it. ऐसा feeling आ सकता है. इसलिए basics are required. Otherwise there is nothing to do. Any number is a natural number. 1, 2, 3, all these are natural numbers. Hope you understand. Zero भी include करेंगे तो then non-negative numbers. All positive integers are natural numbers. This is the basic thing you must require, nothing else. So 3-digit natural numbers without repetition of digits. So digits को repeat नहीं कर सकते. Are there such that each digit is odd. हर digit odd होना चाहिए and the number is divisible by 5. अगर थोड़ा भी बेसिक्स पता होता है तो नंबर विल बी डिविजिबल बाय 5 इफ द लास्ट डिजिट इज ईदर 0 और 5. लास्ट एंडिंग पे 0 आता है तो नंबर डिविजिबल बाय 5 होता है और नंबर 5 से एंड होता है तो नंबर डिविजिबल बाय 5 होता है. दिस इज वेरी बेसिक थिंग. इतना बेसिक्स तो आपका प्रिपरेशन प्रोसेस में तो आप सीखोगे. तो बट 0 नहीं हो सकता है. 1 इट इज एन आई मीन each digit is odd, so 0 is even. So last position में 0 use नहीं कर सकते, only 5 use कर सकते हैं आप. That means you have only one way to fill the last digit, that must be 5. Now come to the first place. First place can be anything from 1 to 9. Because first digit cannot be 0, it can be anything from 1 to 9, but each digit is odd. That means it can be either 1 or 3 or 7 or 9. I am not using 5 because repetition of digits is not allowed. Without repetition of digits. So 5 को skip कर दिया because 5 is already used, in the last digit place. So 1, 3, 7, 9. I have 4 choices to fill the first place, first digit. Very basic. Second, again, you can use anything out of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 5 use नहीं कर सकते, already used. Out of 1, 3, 7, 9 also one digit is used here. Whatever is used here cannot be used again. That means remaining 4 choices में भी एक choice खत्म हो गया, आपको रहेगा 3 choices. So total आपको ये multiply करना है. Again, fundamental principle you will come to know about this in permutations and combinations. Very basic concept. So if you know these 40-50 basics from quantitative ability, you can answer these 40% of questions. So simple. Suppose ये नहीं दिया without repetition of digits. Then यहाँ क्या हो सकता है? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 में कुछ भी हो सकता है. 5 ways होगा. यहाँ क्या होगा? यहाँ भी 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 में कुछ भी हो सकता है. 5 ways होगा. यहाँ तो एक ही वे. तो टोटल होगा 25. अगर ईच डिजिट इज ऑड, ये नहीं दिया होगा तो लास्ट में क्या हो सकता है? 5 और 0 हो सकता है. 2 वेज होगा. यहाँ क्या होता है? 1 to 9 कुछ भी हो सकता है. अगर विदाउट रिपीटेशन ऑफ डिजिट्स नहीं देगा तो 1 to 9 मीन्स 9 वेज होगा. यहाँ क्या होगा? 0 to 9 कुछ भी हो सकता है. 10 वेज होगा. सो मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे बेस्ड ऑन वॉट एवर ही आस्क्ड. Accordingly, we do this. Very, very, very basic questions. So here the answer is 12. Again, I am not trying to explain you the concept. I am trying to tell you the way you have to prepare. Focus. You need to identify these basics. That is what I am trying to explain here. You need to identify those standard questions or standard puzzles. You need to identify. If you cannot identify, you need to choose such a course where someone can give you all these things. Not that anything which is available in books and other things. Not that. Suppose we know what questions were asked in CAT for last 30 years. So if you see, there were many questions. This year, 7 questions in 2022, they were asked from previous CAT papers. If you know that, you can answer these 7 questions which are otherwise difficult, for many aspirants, you can simply answer them. I will show you that also. Take one more question again from 2022. Same concept again. What is the number of numbers of the form 0.xy where x and y are distinct non-zero digits. Just इसका meaning समझना. Distinct means different. Non-zero digits. Non-zero digits means, for example, x non-zero digit. 1 to 9 कुछ भी हो सकता है. That means 1 to 9 means how many choices are there? 9 choices are there. एंड y भी 1 to 9 कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन डिस्टिंक्ट होना चाहिए. जो यहाँ x की प्लेस में यूज किया वे दोबारा यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं, इसलिए यू हैव 8 चॉइसेस इंस्टेड ऑफ 9. सो टोटल यू हैव 72 चॉइसेस. अगर डिस्टिंक्ट नहीं दिया होगा तो इट विल बी 9 into 9. 9 choices for in the place of x and 9 choices in the place of y. अगर नॉन जीरो डिजिट भी नहीं दिया होगा तो सिंपली एक्स एंड वाई आर डिजिट्स, इतना ही दिया. तो एक्स की प्लेस में 0 to 9 कुछ भी यूज कर सकता है. सो व्हाट यू कैन हैव इज 10 चॉइसेस. एंड वाई की जगह भी 0 to 9 कुछ भी यूज कर सकते हैं. अगेन यू हैव 10 चॉइसेस. इवन 0.00 नो प्रॉब्लम. Hope you understand. Based on what he is asking, you need to fill it. You get the answer. This is very basic concept. That's why I am saying not every question can be answered without knowing basics. That's why I only kept 20% of questions which require no prior knowledge, only understanding. And 40% of questions require very basics like this. See, one basic concept, previous question can be answered just based on that. Even this question can be answered just based on that. Take one more question, again from 2022. One non-zero digit, one vowel and one consonant from English alphabet are to be used in forming passwords such that even it is written in capital. Forming passwords. So 3-digit passwords बनाना है आपको. One non-zero digit, one vowel and one consonant. Such that what are the conditions? Each password has to start with a vowel. That means पहले vowel होना चाहिए. That means ये E, vowels means you all know this. ये भी नहीं पता होगा तो कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. इतना बेसिक तो आप सब जानते हो. A, E, I, O, U. So you have 5 choices to fill the first digit, first place. Then and end with consonant and end with a consonant. That means 5 vowels होगा तो remaining 21 consonants होगा. So to fill the last position you have 21 choices. And बीच में क्या होगा? Because you need one vowel, one consonant हो गया. तो बचा क्या? One non-zero digit. Non-zero digit means 1 to 9. Because 1 to 9 non-zero digit. So 1 to 9 means 9 choices. So total क्या हुआ? 21 into 5 into 9. Hope you understand. 21 5s are 105. 105 into 9 is 945. See the answer. How simple it is. अगर non-zero digit नहीं दिया, 1 digit दिया, then digit can be anything from 0 to 9. Then answer होता है 10 choices here instead of 9. Then होता है 21 into 5 into 10. Then the answer would have been 1050. Based on what he is asking. अगर यह कैपिटल नहीं दिया, वही स्मॉल लेटर्स में भी आता है, तो 5 कैपिटल वोवेल्स, 5 स्मॉल में टोटल 10 चॉइसेस हो जाता है. यहाँ 21 की जगह 42 हो जाता है. We will change all these things, based on what is given. So who is answering these questions? You have to answer. After knowing the concept, it's you to implement by understanding the statement and to use the, your common sense, your sense of mind during the exam. That ability we have to improve during our preparation. It's not about cognitive ability or only memory. Very, very simple things. Please understand and realize and organize your preparation and come under the right guidance and prepare the right things so that you will not waste your valuable year. So here the answer is option C. Anyway, I am not trying to answer the questions. I am only trying to deliver you the message. Hope the message is reaching you. Now take one more question, again from Civil Services 2022. See, this time I have taken more questions from CSAT because many aspirants are saying, sir, now CSAT has become very difficult. Take questions from CSAT and explain how the same approach is applicable in CSAT. Whether it is CSAT or general studies, whether it is prelims or mains, or even on that matter, whether it is interview, doesn't matter. Everywhere the same logic. Common sense, understanding ability, logical ability and your approach. These are the abilities that you need to improve to clear this exam at any stage. Take this question. In a tournament of chess having 150 entrants, a player is eliminated whenever he loses a match. So एक टूर्नामेंट है जिसमें 150 entrants है and a player is eliminated whenever he loses a match. Now what is the question? It is given that no match results in a tie or draw. How many matches are played in the entire tournament? टूर्नामेंट का मतलब क्या होगा? फाइनली एक चैंपियन होगा एंड रिमेनिंग 149 क्या होगा? एलिमिनेट होना चाहिए, तभी तो एक चैंपियन बचेगा. And whenever he loses a match, when a player will be eliminated, whenever he loses a match, and there is no match result in a tie or draw. So 149 people eliminate होने के लिए 149 मैचेस होना चाहिए, बिकॉज एक मैच होगा तभी एक लूजर एलिमिनेट होगा, तो 149 मैचेस होगा तभी 149 प्लेयर्स एलिमिनेट होके एक चैंपियन बचेगा. So answer is 149, simple. कोई पेन का भी जरूरत नहीं. This is the third type of question. I told you 20% of questions you can answer just by reading the statement, and 40% of questions you can answer if you know the basic concepts, basic concepts, total सारे quant, reasoning, comprehension, data interpretation, डेटा सफिशिएंसी सब मिलके अराउंड 100 कंसेप्ट्स होता है. वे 100 कंसेप्ट्स आपने सीख लिया, यू कैन आंसर दीज 40% ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. थर्ड टाइप यू माइट आस्क, ये तो हाई क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी, लेकिन मुझे कैसा स्ट्राइक होगा? 149 एक चैंपियन होता है, 149 प्लेयर्स एलिमिनेट होता है, तो 149 मैचेस होना चाहिए. बोलने के बाद बहुत सिंपल लग रहा है, अदरवाइज ये स्ट्राइक नहीं होगा ना एग्जाम में. मैं मान लेता हूं आपकी भी बात. आप ऐसा शुरू करते हो, 150 प्लेयर्स है तो पहले 75 मैचेस होगा, तभी 75 जीतेगा, 75 हार के एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा. फिर 75 प्लेयर्स में 37 मैचेस होगा, 74 खेलेगा, एक बच जाएगा, बिकॉज 75 इज एन ऑड नंबर. उसको क्या करना है कहीं लिखा नहीं, तो आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे उस प्लेयर को क्या करना है. नाउ यहां बीच में समझ में नहीं आया आगे कैसा बढ़ना, इस तरह की चैलेंजेस हो सकता है. एक्चुअली ही हैज टू राइट दैट आल्सो. अगर इफ एनी प्लेयर इज लेफ्ट ओवर ही विल बी सेंट टू नेक्स्ट राउंड विदाउट एक्चुअली बीइंग प्लेड इन दैट राउंड, बट ये लिखा नहीं, वैसा दे दिया, तभी it is making sense, the question is making sense. So but ये स्ट्राइक होगा then it is very easy. इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं, जब आप there are about 100 to 120 which are very very standard questions. This is such a standard question. If you would have known this, क्योंकि ऐसा क्वेश्चन इंटरव्यू में भी पूछ सकता है. ये पूछ के देगा 150 की जगह है ना, बड़ी नंबर देगा, 2023 देगा. 2023 प्लेयर्स टेस्ट टूर्नामेंट में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है. अगर कोई भी प्लेयर हारेगा तो वे एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा. एंड कोई टाई या ड्रा नहीं हुआ, कितने मैचेस होगा सॉल्व करके बताओ. ये पूछ के इंटरव्यू में एक पेन एंड पेपर देगा आपको. अगर आप पेन पेपर लेके कुछ लिखना शुरू करोगे ना, इट गिव्स यू नेगेटिव इंप्रेशन. अगर आप बोलेंगे सर पेन और पेपर को बचा के रखो, कोई जरूरत नहीं, 2023 प्लेयर्स है, उनमें से एक चैंपियन रहेगा, इसका मतलब 2022 लूजर्स होना चाहिए, तो एक लूजर एक मैच होगा तभी बनेगा, लूजर आएगा तभी एलिमिनेट होगा, तो इसका आंसर है 2022. ऐसा ओरली आप समझाओगे ना, ही विल बी इम्प्रेस्ड. the panel will be impressed. That is what is the expectation. These are very, very standard questions, not only in the exam, even in the interview. Standard questions and standard puzzles, आपको समझना चाहिए. This is the third time where, 8 to 9 questions ऐसा पूछा जाता है exam में. Not only this year, every year. For example, to make you understand, I am showing you. Take this question, asked in CAT 1993. कब का क्वेश्चन है? 93. बचपन का क्वेश्चन है. आप तो फायदा भी नहीं हुआ होगा तब तक. 139 persons have signed up for an elimination tournament. All players are to be paid up for the first round, but because 139 is an odd number, one player gets a bye, which promotes him to the second round without actually playing in the first round. यहाँ और क्लियरली मेंशन किया है. जब ऐसा ऑड नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर्स आएगा तो उसको नेक्स्ट राउंड को वैसा ही भेजेंगे. दैट मीन्स without giving him a chance to play a match, we will not eliminate him. That is what he is trying to tell. The pairing continues on the next round with a bye to any player left over. If the schedule is planned so that a minimum number of matches is required to determine the champion, the number of matches must be played is. Simply the answer is 138. Hope you understand. 139 persons में एक प्लेयर लूज करेगा मैच तभी एलिमिनेट होगा. तो 138 लूजर्स आएगा तभी 138 मैचेस होगा. 138 मैचेस होगा तभी 138 लूजर्स होगा. तभी 139 एलिमिनेट होकर एक चैंपियन आ जाएगा. सेम कंसेप्ट. बट इतना लिखेगा तो आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे सब पढ़ के. इसलिए यूपीएससी बीइंग सो काइंड, कैट से भी काइंड है. ये भी पुराना कैट 30 साल पहले जो क्वेश्चन आया है उससे भी काइंड एनफ है. 30 साल के बाद भी अभी भी ये बच्चा समझ नहीं पाएगा. ये सोच के सारे काट के बहुत सीधा पूछ लिया क्वेश्चन आपको. फिर आप बोल रहे हो कट ऑफ 1/3 भी क्लियर नहीं कर पा रहा है. पता नहीं क्या क्या क्वेश्चन आ रहा है. बिकॉज यू नेवर हैव गॉन थ्रू ऑल दीज क्वेश्चन. सेम क्वेश्चन, सेम पजल, सेम चीजें. आपको ऐसा बंदा, ऐसा कोचिंग चाहिए है जिसको ये सब पता हो. who have made all this journey, not that कोई बुक देख के बुक में जो भी दिया वही आके पढ़ा रहा है. If someone has 3-4 decades of such an experience where he has seen so many exams, so many questions he come across, he knows what all this panel, what kind of puzzles they put, how the interview will be, will happen, like what he is going to ask you, everything in and out bata hai. Then, he can make your preparation simple and joyful. So बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस प्रीवियस ईयर से सेम कंसेप्ट बार बार रिपीट होता रहता है. तो दैट्स व्हाई यू नीड टू कन्वर्ट ऑल दिस टेक्स्ट, ऑल दीज कंसेप्ट्स इनटू थॉट्स. थॉट्स में कन्वर्ट करेगा तो उतना ही बचेगा. प्री प्लस मेंस मिलके 400-450 थॉट्स ही है. उसी को यूज करके आप सारे क्वेश्चंस आंसर करोगे. टेक दिस क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड इन सिविल सर्विसेज 2019 on 21st June the sun. 21st जून मीन्स ये तो समर है. इंडिया में तो समर है. सो नॉर्थर्न हेमिस्फीयर में समर है, उसको समर सॉल्स्टिस बोलते हैं. होप यू नो दिस मच बेसिक. सो द सन विल बी वर्टिकली अबव द ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर. सो ऑप्शंस कैसा भी पूछ सकता है. समर सॉल्स्टिस, नॉर्थर्न हेमिस्फीयर में समर है या सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में विंटर है, जो भी दिया अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू चूज. ऑप्शन ये देखिए, डज नॉट सेट बिलो द हॉराइजन एट द आर्कटिक सर्किल. आर्कटिक सर्किल में the whole time, even if you go to Norway or Arctic countries, you find the sun even during midnight. So midnight sun देखने इसी टाइम पे जाते हैं जून में, because ये सारे समर है नॉर्थर्न हेमिस्फीयर में. तो आर्कटिक सर्किल में the sun will not set below the horizon, whereas in the Antarctic circle sun will never rise above the horizon. So out of these two, anything is given that is correct. तो ऑप्शन ए इज गिवन, डज नॉट सेट बिलो द हॉराइजन एट द आर्कटिक सर्किल. यस, ट्रू. बी देखिए, वैसा भी देख रहा हूं. डज नॉट सेट बिलो द हॉराइजन एट अंटार्कटिक सर्किल. इट डज नॉट सेट बिलो द हॉराइजन. नो, इट ऑलवेज सेट because it never rise above the horizon. ये तो सारे darkness है, अंधेरा है, night है अंटार्कटिका में during summer solstice, because अंटार्कटिका साउथ पोल पे है तो winter है इस टाइम पे. So second is wrong. See देखिए, shines vertically overhead at noon on the equator. No, not on the equator, above the Tropic of Cancer. So C is wrong. Shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. Wrong. Equinox पे above the equator होता है, and winter solstice पे above the Tropic of Capricorn होता है. You know all the things. Very, very basic concept again. If you know the basics, you can answer this question. So the answer is option A. It was already asked in 2019. Now you see, लोग बोलता है सर प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस आजकल नहीं आ रहा है. लाइक 2022 पेपर देख के बहुत बच्चे ने बोला सर इस साल तो प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस रिपीट नहीं हुआ. नहीं, इस साल भी बहुत रिपीट हुआ, हर साल रिपीट होता है, लेकिन रिपीटेशन डजंट मीन दैट एज इट इज कॉपी पेस्ट होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, इट वाज आस्क्ड इन 2019. Now you take this question asked in 2022. In the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in the summer solstice, जो पहले ही लिखा June 21. On June 21st क्या होगा? Sun will never set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle. That means it is summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, or you can say the sun will be vertically above the Tropic of Cancer, or you can say the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere or June 21st. So even इतना भी exact date भी नहीं पूछ रहा है. First half of the month of June, second half of the month of June, first half of the month of July, second half of the month of the July. What is this nonsense? इतना सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन आ रहा है एग्जाम में, एंड कट ऑफ तो 50% से ज्यादा नहीं हो रहा है, एंड हम बोल रहे हैं कि ये एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट है, एंड मोर ओवर पूरा साल की तैयारी कर रहे हैं. किसकी तैयारी कर रहे हैं फिर पूरा साल? और कैसा डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है एक पूरा साल तैयारी होने के बाद भी? यू माइट से सर ऐसा क्वेश्चन तो इजी है, लेकिन ऐसा क्वेश्चन ओनली 30 आ रहा है या 25 आ रहा है, उसके बाद क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्ट है. सही बात है, उसके बाद क्वेश्चंस भी इजी ही है, लेकिन आप पहचान नहीं पा रहे हो. तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए? आपका स्ट्राइक रेट इंप्रूव करने के लिए एक्टिविटीज पे टाइम इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए ना. आप क्यों पहचान नहीं पा रहे हो उसको? क्या प्रॉब्लम है? कैसा उसको छुपा के दे रहा है या उस ऑप्शन को घुमा के पूछ रहा है? उन चीजों पे इंप्रूव करो ना. ये नहीं कर रहे हो आप, because nobody is giving you this skill enhancement. आप सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन करना चाहते हो, सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन बुक्स पढ़ने से सिर्फ नॉलेज आएगा, ये एबिलिटी कहां से पता चलेगा? यू नीड टू फाइंड द राइट कोर्स, where these abilities will be available, will be taught. If you can do that, as I told you, I'm repeatedly telling you, 4 to 6 months of preparation is good enough to prepare for this exam. So here the answer is second half of the month of June. B. Very, very silly question. Like this, you can take any number of questions, even take fact-based questions. For example, I will take this question asked in 2020, completely fact-based question, because some of you might think, sir, there are many facts also, how to retain, remember these facts. I'll make a separate video for that also, how to retain and recollect. Uspe. Otherwise, you take this question with reference to the scholars or literatures of ancient India. Consider the following statements. Panini is associated with Pushyamitra Shunga. Amarsimha is associated with Harshvardhana. Kalidas is associated with Chandragupta too. Panini, if you take during Shunga time, we have Patanjali, who wrote commentaries on Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is written by Panini much before. Then उसका commentaries पतंजलि ने लिखा, वे शुंगा की टाइम का. अगर ये बात पता चलता है तो आपको पता चलता है पनिनी इससे बहुत पहले का था, तो first is wrong. He is not associated with Pushyamitra Shunga. So you can say first is wrong. So A is wrong, D is wrong. Second देखिए, Amarsimha is associated with Harshvardhana. Amarsimha is in the court of Chandragupta too. During Gupta period, Kalidas, Amarsimha, Varahamihira, Dhanvantari, like this, there are 9 jewels, 9 people. Out of them, these 4 are very important. These are very basics. If you know that, even अगर 9 strike होता है ये second statement, इसलिए वे clue भी third statement में दिया. कालिदास is associated with चंद्रगुप्ता 2. ये मेंशन करके याद भी कराने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं वे. यार कालिदास के साथ ही अमर सिम्हा भी था. वे दोनों 9 जूल्स में पार्ट है, ये भी समझाने का कोशिश कर रहा है. अगर वहां भी स्ट्राइक होता है आपको, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड अमर सिम्हा बिलोंग टू द कोर्ट ऑफ चंद्रगुप्ता टू, नॉट associated with Harshvardhana. So second is wrong. If you know second is wrong, you can say A is wrong, B is wrong, D is wrong, you get the answer. Facts में भी इतना kindness दिखा रहा है this paper setter, and you are saying these are difficult questions which come in the UPSC exam. और उसको स्ट्राइक करने के लिए प्रूफ भी नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट में दे रहा है. सो थर्ड, कालिदास इज एसोसिएटेड विद चंद्रगुप्ता 2 इज करेक्ट, एंड अमर सिम्हा इज नॉट एसोसिएटेड विद हर्षवर्धन. सो द आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी. एक बहुत सिंपल सा कनेक्शन भी मींस स्ट्राइक करने के लिए ये उसका रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन भी दिया है. मोर ओवर, take this question asked in CAP of 2015. कम से कम लास्ट 10 ईयर का जो अदर यूपीएससी कंडक्टेड एग्जाम्स भी आप सॉल्व करोगे ना, आपको पता चलेगा ये सारे चीज वहां से या कहीं से इधर उधर से उठाया ही क्वेश्चंस है. अमर सिम्हा इज द नेम ऑफ ए फेमस लेक्सिकोग्राफर ऑफ एंशिएंट इंडिया. जब ऐसा कहीं आया तो उसका पूरे बारे में समझेंगे, नॉट ओनली आंसर द क्वेश्चंस. दैट्स व्हाई इन आवर बीकन कोर्स in which we have solved all the previous questions of past 40-year questions. It is not just to answer, it is to give a brief about all these things. Suppose Amar Simha, we have understood he is a lexicographer, belong to the court of Chandragupta II. He is one among the 9 jewels, belong to his court, Chandragupta II court mein. Out of them, others include Kalidas, Varahmihira and Dhanvantari. All the things, when we interconnect multiple times, you automatically remember lexicographer means who works in making dictionaries. So, famous lexicographer of ancient India. Hope you understand it. So, ये सारे names, important scholars, important places like capitals हो, ports हो, these are all, कहीं तो कहीं आया ही होगा. अगर उन चीजों पे भी थोड़ा ध्यान देके उनके बारे में भी आप समझोगे ना, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आप आंसर कर सकते हैं. Very simple. So, even to remember the facts, suppose you take one particular subject. Let me show you. I am taking ancient history. First, understand the topics. What are the topics we have discussed in this subject? Stone Age, Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic Age, Mahajanapadas, pre-Maurya, Macedonian and Alexander का जो invasions. Then Maurya, post-Maurya में शुंगासन कार्वास भी डिस्कस करेंगे. Central Asian empires like Indo-Greeks, Sakas, Kushans, all the things we discuss. Then Sangam Age में हम बात करेंगे Pallavas, Chalukyas, all the things. Even Satavahanas का भी बात करेंगे. यहाँ Satavahanas, जो डेक्कन में सातवाहनास, डाउन साउथ में संगम एज. देन गुप्तास की बात करेंगे, फिर हर्षा की बात करेंगे. एंड इवन सब मिसलिनियस किंगडम्स की बात करेंगे. महामेघवाहना डायनेस्टी, आंध्रा इक्ष्वाकुस, वाकाटकास, कालाब्रास, कादम्बास, वेस्टर्न गंगास, ये सारे टॉपिक्स है एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री में. नाउ फॉरगेट दीज टॉपिक्स. जब सीखेंगे तब टॉपिक वाइज ऐसा सीखेंगे, बट लास्ट में आएंगे तब तक ये सबसे हम डिराइव करेंगे कुछ थीम्स को. हर सब्जेक्ट में 15 से 25 थीम्स होता है. अगर बड़ा सब्जेक्ट होगा तो 25 तक होगा, लाइक पॉलिटी उस तरह के सब्जेक्ट में. छोटा सब्जेक्ट होगा तो 15-20 थीम्स होगा. थीम्स क्या है? क्रोनोलॉजी समझेंगे पहले, फिर हम समझेंगे सोर्सेस. मौर्यस के बारे में क्या क्या सोर्सेस है, कैसा पता चला. गुप्ता के बारे में कैसा पता चला. संगमेर के बारे में कैसा पता चला. सातवाहनास के बारे में कैसा पता चला. ऑल दी सोर्सेस. कौन सी इंस्क्रिप्शंस है, कौन सी टेक्स्ट बुक, कौन सी बुक्स है एंड ऑल. रिलीजन कैसा चेंज होते आया इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन से लेके हादसा तक. देन एग्रीकल्चर कैसा चेंज होते आया, सोसाइटी कैसा चेंज होता आया, ट्रेड कैसा चेंज होते आया, एजुकेशन का क्या हाल है, मेटेरियलिस्टिक कल्चर, पॉटरी, मेटल्स, ये कैसा यूज होता आया. देन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैसा बदलता आया, आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर का क्या प्रोग्रेस है, मिसलिनियस चीजिंग. ऐसा 12-13 थीम्स में डिवाइड करो, उसको ब्रॉड लेवल पे समझो. ये मेंस में भी काम आएगा, ये प्रीलिम्स में जो भी क्वेश्चन आएगा खुद आंसर करने में मदद करेगा. और कुछ चीजों में फैक्ट्स होता है, स्पेशली इन हिस्ट्री एंड ज्योग्राफी, इस तरह की सब्जेक्ट में उसको फैक्ट शीट बनाओ. मैं क्या कहने का कोशिश कर रहा हूं, मैं एक अलग से वीडियो बनाऊंगा इसके लिए, हाउ टू रीड, रिटेन एंड रिकलेक्ट. उसमें मैं डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा ये प्रोसेस कैसा फॉलो करना है. अगर ये करोगे तो सारे प्रिपरेशन आपकी कंट्रोल में आ जाएगा. अगर 4 से 5 घंटे बैठने से ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स यू कैन रिवाइज योरसेल्फ बिफोर द एग्जाम मल्टीपल टाइम्स. देन क्वेश्चंस का आंसर्स खुद कर पाएंगे. इवन फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चंस भी आपको इजीली याद होने लगेगा. So after themes, make the fact sheets, important stone age sites and कौन सी साइट में क्या क्या फाइंडिंग्स मिला. Then important IVC sites, important terms used in Rigveda, Mahajanapadas and their capitals, and important kings, various sects of Jainism and Buddhism. ऐसा नहीं वही है, मैं ऐसा बना रहा हूं, आप अपने तरीके से बनाओ. इंपॉर्टेंट मॉन्क्स, उसका लिस्ट बनाओ, एक कौन सी टाइम पे रहा था और क्या कंट्रीब्यूट किया, मीन्स कौन सी टेक्स्ट लिखा या कौन सी प्लेस को बिलोंग करते हैं, ऐसा कोई है तो लिखो. फिर इंपॉर्टेंट किंग्स, ये कौन सी डायनेस्टी का है, ये क्या किसके लिए फेमस है. देन इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेसेस है, ये प्लेस किसके लिए फेमस है. इज इट ए रिलीजियस प्लेस, सम आर्किटेक्चर इज देयर or some inscription is there, or is it any capital of any kingdom, or is it any important trading port. So important places, important scholars, कौन सी स्कॉलर किसके लिए पॉपुलर था और कौन सी कोर्ट किसका कोर्ट में था. देन एम्बेसडर्स एंड ट्रैवलर्स, कौन आए थे, कौन सी कोर्ट में आए थे, कहां से आए थे. important terms, different terms used in these dynasties, and Ashoka edicts, inscriptions, etc. Even some miscellaneous. ये आपका मर्जी है कैसा आप डिवाइड करोगे. ये का एक फैक्ट शीट बनाओ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू टेक इंपॉर्टेंट स्कॉलर्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेक ए लिस्ट ऑफ स्कॉलर्स. कितना स्कॉलर्स होंगे, ज्यादा से ज्यादा 20 स्कॉलर्स होंगे. सबका नाम लिखो, नेम, किसका कोर्ट में था और किसके लिए फेमस था, व्हाट इज हिज स्किल, इसका लिस्ट बनेगा. ये बार बार देखने से एग्जाम के टाइम पे तो ऑटोमेटिकली याद भी होगा और समझ में भी आएगा. अगर कोई एक क्वेश्चन था देखा, लाइक अमर सिम्हा वाज इन द कोर्ट ऑफ हर्षवर्धना, आप खुद बोलोगे नो ही इज नॉट इन द कोर्ट ऑफ हर्षवर्धना, ही इज वन अमंग द 9 jewels हु बिलोंग टू चंद्रगुप्ता टू कोर्ट ड्यूरिंग गुप्ता टाइम. हर्षवर्धना टाइम पे था बाराभट्टा. सिमिलरली ह्यून जांग आए थे उनकी टाइम पे जो ट्रैवलर. तो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड मेनी थिंग्स लाइक दैट. सो यू कैन से योरसेल्फ दिस इज रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट. सो गलती करने का भी चॉइस नहीं बचेगा, तो आराम से आपका जो आंसर सही भी होगा. फैक्ट सारे ऐसा. सिमिलरली ज्योग्राफी के रिलेटेड फैक्ट्स कैसे याद रखना, ये सारे मैं दूसरा वीडियो में डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. अदरवाइज इफ यू फॉलो ए सिस्टमैटिक वे, हियर माय मैसेज इज keep your preparation in your control. Don't waste your time just watching the daily current affairs. 1 घंटा वेस्ट कर दिया just reading something unnecessarily without knowing why you are doing it, and without getting the control, even without listing down the concepts of that particular subject in a proper order. Just reading will not lead you anywhere. इतना चीज 2-3 साल के पढ़ने के बाद भी आप एग्जाम क्लियर नहीं कर पा रहे हो, दैट मीन्स द complete preparation process is not under your control. First you bring it into your control so that you can easily clear your the exam. This is what is this message. So keep your preparation joyful. Keep the day, of exam. That day you go joyfully to the exam hall, and those 2 hours you joyfully read the statements and try to answer the questions yourself using your own common sense. Then this exam can be cleared just like that. So this is all about this commandment. Hope you have understood and enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching this.